Oh boy, hello YouTube and hello everybody that has been touched by Mega Man in a very special way. We're in another installment of reactions.
I did not want to upload on this channel anymore because quite frankly, I don't feel comfortable anymore because two men by the names of Kevin Coburl and Dan Edward King have for the past 5...
So, you not only dox, but you used their full govy. Way to go. Way to freaking go. Way to sound official. You not only doxed them, but you used their full govy. You know, you were sounding more and more like a typical threat to anybody in security, you know. And to be honest with you, I actually almost met up with you at one point. Kind of glad I didn't, with your actions on how with Dan King and Slippery. Kind of glad I held off on that, you know. Yeah, that's his next latest video.
5 years engaged in a campaign of aggravated harassment. They have bullied me relentlessly.
Bullied you. I need you to see. First thing is, like, he does the whole knee-jerk reaction thing to try to get views and subscribers, and he does it at the expense of Dan King and Slippery when wet. He also does it at the expense of me, Baron Yam, Tickle, Trent, and True Sherm.
They've attacked my name. They've attacked my character. They've spread lies about me. Dan Edward King called my home. He called my leasing office. He instigated having people go on Facebook to the corporate office that handles the leasing here to try to have me thrown out of my home for doing things that are perfectly legal where I live. And nobody seems to say anything about it.
See, I'm going to say something about it. See, legal to shoot freaking paintball guns and pellet guns. It's only legal with probable cause or you're on a range. If you're not on a range, aka your apartment building, it is a violation of a lease. You're in lease violation. I have paintball guns. I have airsoft pistols. You know, I have pellet guns. But guess what? I only bring them out when I'm on the range or I have probable freaking cause. There are firearms in the house. They don't come out. They don't see the light of day. There are swords in my house, knives, daggers. But guess what? Only with probable cause, aka somebody is breaking into my house. I may need to put a round in them. I may need to chop off a head. I may need to disembowel somebody. But that will have probable cause. They're probably leaving out in mixture of body bags and buckets.
Kevin Coburl created...
Let me say this. My house. Not anybody else's house. My house.
Fake Facebook accounts coming after me and attacking me. And now they're both here. And I told guys like, and I'm not holding back anymore. I'm not biting my tongue. Guys like Tico Tren and True Sherm and Baron Yam and MGTOW and Win and everybody.
I've kept your name out of my mouth for a really long time. You opened your mouth and brought my name into it. You brought Baron Yam's name into it. You know? You brought Tico's, you brought True Shrimp, and I'm gonna give you a little synapse of what literally brought you to this point. See, we in the Ticosphere, we don't just take one side. We don't just sit here and just suck on the backs of one person. We investigate. We send people out to find out what type of person the person on the other side is. And if the other side seems more reasonable and more put together and has an understanding of what's going on and doesn't react, that one of us talks to the opposite side and the other side reacts. Because honesty is key. I'm going to say I still talk to this person while talking to you, and I'm going to let them know that I'm talking to you. And if you both don't react, and if you both have no problem with it, all well and good. I'm going to let you both know that what's going on. Let you both know that y'all that I'm talking to you, and whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Else, do not let these men into this space. These men are stalkers.
I have a question. How do you stalk somebody all the way from New York City? Well, first and foremost, they have to know you, right?
But these men chose to have their entertainment and their views and their clicks and to gain more subscribers at my expense.
It wasn't at your expense. Basically, what it is you were not reasonable enough, and so forth. You were literally irrational. You, with your actions of saying insert orientation and insert a double bigoted comment here, attacking two groups of people. And as I said before, you're not racist. Mega Man's not racist. He just doesn't think. I mean, if he would have thought, he would have actually had the brain power, the mind power to not engage Dan King and Slippery When Wet and bring new players into the party, such as Babu Parsec.
Kevin has outright accused me of stealing valor. I never tried to kill the mother of my kids.
So you expect us to believe that a veteran gave you a Purple Heart out of his pocket? You expect we veterans typically do not carry our medals with us. Those things remain with our uniforms. And if we go, we typically take them with our uniforms. We typically burn our uniforms before our medals, our ribbons, our uniform will fall into some sort of process of stolen valor.
She attacked me violently. She bit me, she kicked me, she scratched me.
Now, the thing is, I partially believe that section. See, the thing is, in order for somebody to bite, scratch, and kick and punch, that is the basic lowest human fight or flight response. So her life had to have been in danger. her life had to have been in danger. Women typically don't bite, scratch, and hit all at the same time unless their life is in danger. Or unless you've managed to piss them off so much that the only rational thought is violence.
She punched me, and all I did was hold her and stop her from attacking me any further.
AKA force choke.
Then her brother attacked me. I was meant to sleep on the floor in that house. I was meant to sleep in my car. I was alienated from my family and her and my kids because of her mother and her father.
I think you were alienated from her, your kids, and you had to sleep on the couch in your car. Out in the couch or on the floors, like you sort of say. First thing I'd like to say this. In order to have 2 kids, you had to have slept somewhere. Couch, bed, car. Now the thing is, like, car is like for an adult is a really unclassy move. You are definitely a unclassy person. Couch, okay, bed, but the thing is, you alienated yourself. I have seen the Facebook videos of you shooing your kids away, and from what they're telling me, Dan King, Slippery, what? You have not disputed any of this. You have not proven any of this wrong. That you waited for her mother to go to the bathroom to sniff her seat. What type of pervert does that? You literally alienated your children yourself. You've done that yourself. All of the things that you and Anakin and Darth Vader have so much in common. Everything that you've caused is caused by you. But the only difference is baby mama survived and Anakin's didn't. Just saying. Hey, I'm going to bring it. I want to show you how deep. This is just a little bit how deep that I can go. You alienated your children from yourself, and you alienated your baby mama from yourself. And to be honest with you, I'm more inclined, from how reasonable Dan King and Slippery When Wet are, I'm more inclined to believe them than I am you.
I'm tired of these false narratives that I'm gaming the system. That I'm a fraud and a fake, and that I'm a crazy man. Dan Edward King started this on Facebook.
And you continued it. Flat out. He may have started it, but you continued it. Look, I've watched this video in its entirety. He just basically goes back on the vandalization on his car, where he probably did it himself, because them rocks are the place really, really impressive. First things foremost, when you throw a rock at a car, it doesn't really bounce onto the ground. It usually sits on the hood, It just goes up or tumbles back down. What it is, the angle of the windshield, it sends it up and then back down. And it usually just rolls on the front of the hood or on the side of the vehicle. Sometimes it stays. With that deep a hole, it went through the windshield. I'm just saying, it went through the windshield. That deep a hole. So somebody, yeah. And ricochet, if it was ricocheting, the other car would be marked next to it. Unless it was just parked, then there would be rocks underneath the car from it pulling through. And from where you normally park your vehicle to where it was parked, there's a camera. Why didn't you use it? I'm just saying.
I have the printouts. Got into it. Vandalized multiple times because of my Trump stickers, not because of retirement. I had an issue with the security guard at a convention called...
And you handled it like a child. throwing a temper, who didn't get the candy, who didn't get the Christmas present he wanted. You handled it like a child who was told no,
WinterCon that was ran by my friend Frank Patz, who they gladly came into that convention and didn't have to pay and I sold it
501c 5050C, right?
On this stuff by right. That money should have gone to the mother of my kids and my
by right, the money should have gone. See, that's what basically defeats the purpose of a non-profit.
Children, but instead I spent it on them because of the false assumption that we were going to do some good. And
then why didn't you spend it on your children? Why didn't you spend it on your baby mama? Why didn't you take the money? Why did you give it to them and not give it to your baby mama?
Raise some money for charity and have a little fun. And instead, on the last day of that convention, a security guard rifled through my gear, grabbed my helmet box, it fell on the ground, and it broke. And we got into a shouting match. And the man advanced on me, trying to put his hands on me.
And you reacted. And the fact is, you got angry and you reacted. And he was every bit in his right. You don't scream at a security office. You don't scream at a security officer. You know? You don't do that. You don't ever scream at a security officer because they will take it as provocation. You provoked the security officer. And you lost your cool, you lost your temper, and you lost your Darth Vader helmet.
And I had to defend myself. And instead of the 501st Legion standing up for one of their own, they threw me under the bus and suspended me. As a result, I had a panic attack that they completely made fun of and did not take it seriously.
It's kind of hard to take anything you say seriously, Wally, because how many times have you gone and been institutionalized for an attempt at attention? Oh, I got a Dan King and slippery when wet. I'm sick of this. You've broken me. My honey pot pea, my freaking fatty liver is coughing up in my lungs. You have threatened Dan King. You have threatened Slippery when wet. You have doxed Slippery when wet. You have threatened Slippery when wet's daughter. You have basically made threats of desecration of a corpse. Of corpses, I should be so to say accurately. Against Slippery when wet's daughter, you have basically insulted, threatened, and made threat attempts at Dan King's wife. You have threatened Tico Trent with your little Barney Fife actions. You have basically harassed and threatened Baron Yam. You have basically insulted True Sherm. And you did the number one sin that I'm pretty sure that maybe somebody in the manosphere told you. Don't bring my name into your crap. You brought my name into your crap 7 months ago, but eventually I was going to catch it. You know? And the next video, I'm going to give you a little history on me, Baron Yam, Tico Trent, True Sherm's interaction with Mega Man and Slippery when wet. And it's going to be a long, detailed video, but I've seen this video in entirety. He basically cries and says, I'm going to basically yada, 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 yada. Whatever. Same thing. Oh, to the Celtic community, to the Norse community, be prepared to deal with some drama. You're going to get drama. Your community is going to be fractured, just like my community. good luck. I wish you the best of luck. Like, look. There are people that I used to interact with a wide range, and now that range has been narrowed. MAGA Man is going to fracture your community. He's going to basically do a suicide attempt. He's going to basically do all this. You're going to send somebody's going to come from your community and investigate me, Dan King, Baron Yams, Tico Trent, True Sherm, Slippery When Wet, Babu Parsec, and many others, and we're going to be reasonable. We're going to be reasonable. We're going to be more stable, more reasonable, more knowledgeable, and we're going to basically explain our incidents and basically interaction with MAGA Man. So if you come from MAGA Man's channel and you to harass me or try to basically downvote my video, by all means, make sure you listen to the video in its entirety, because you'll find that I'm more reasonable than the nutcase you're following. I'm sorry, he is a nutcase. It's what it is. I'm just calling it what it is, because he's so goddamn unemotional. He didn't learn a daggone thing from his parents, and if he would have think instead of react, maybe, just maybe, he would still be able to have fun with fun with the manosphere. And on top of that, we might have not have lost the Friday night. We might have not have basically lost the Friday Night Blaze in its entirety. This is Red Pill in the Wind signing off.